Extract as much information as possible. Brother Songyu, cheers. Zhuo Fan and the young master were like best pals now, chit-chatting what all young men talked about those days. His name is Dong Tianba. He belongs to a first-rate family in his city, however in the Tianyu Empire as a whole, it's a second-rate family. Once upon a time he was ordered by his father to go to Yeyu City, that's where he met Songyu. Songyu was desperate to climb the social ladder and ended up becoming his friend. He wanted Songyu to marry his sister, Dong Xiaowan. Dong Xiaowan is the only daughter and jewel of the Dong family. With Songyu's talent, it was shameful for her to marry him. Of course, their father kicked him out and even reprimanded Dong Tianba. Dong Xiaowan is always scolding her brother for this. I'm your own sister, yet you're engaging me to such a man. You prodigal son. In the Dong family's eyes, Songyu might be a piece of shit. But for Dong Tianba, he's a close friend and confidant. What prodigal son? It called being true to yourself, not being hypocrites like them. What kind of a brother is this? Some people sucked up to him and he's ready to hand his sister over to them. If I was his father, I would have severely punished him. Why don't you let your sister marry someone she likes? I really worry for the future of the Dong family and his sister's happiness. Even his family elders can only stand by and watch. It's truly just a case of two oddballs becoming friends. It has nothing to do with their status. Brother Song, where's your sister? Didn't she come? She dropped me off and went back home. Hey, the world is full of beautiful women. Why is Brother Dong looking for a small-time girl like my sister? She is not good enough for you. There are many girls in Huayu City who are not inferior to her. Why don't you look for them? You don't get it. The woman of Huayu must never be touched. Dong Tianba made sure no one was around before whispering. The House of Huayu is the only family in the 7 royal families that is led by a woman. For thousands of years they recruit men from large families to marry into their family, and it's going on till this day. So, the status of the women there is quite high. So what? You can't pursue a woman you fall in love with? Hey brother you, the more we talk, the more I feel you've changed. Don't you know that pursuing and flirting are just different words with the same meaning? Zhuo Fan laughed in dismay. Yes. Exactly. Brother Dong is really smart. So, Brother Dong, what other rules are there? Like this in... Oh, I forgot to tell you. During the 100 Pills Festival there are too many families attending, so they have rules for accommodation. Third-rate families can only stay in the slums, second-rate families can stay in the inns, the first-rate families are accommodated by the 15th house master of the Huayu. As for the 7 royal families... Wait, the 7 royal families are here too? Of course, they may be at war with each other, but 2 or 3 of them come and they're entertained by the house master of the Huayu. People from the Yuming Valley are already here. No wonder there were people from Yuming Valley looking for me at the city gates. They weren't sent to every city. They followed someone here because of the 100 Pills Festival. Since they're representing Yuming Valley, there is surely an elder. Who's here from the Yuming Valley? Wrinkling his brows, Dong Tianba shook his head. But then a man burst through the door huffing. Master Dong, something terrible has happened to Miss Dong. What? Take me to her now. Dong Tianba jumped to his feet and rushed with the 4 elders. Zhuo Fan was right behind them. They arrived at a market. There were many people standing at the sideline in silence. A fine and charming lady stood in front of a stall, holding a delicate piece of jewelry. Her phoenix eyes darted towards the crying woman on the ground. What happened? Who did this to you? Don't worry brother, let's go. Who let you leave? I just told you to slap yourself 30 times and now you want to leave. I don't care who you are, but when I find out your identity, your whole family will die horribly. Crestfallen and shivering, Dong Xiaowan started slapping herself and her already swollen face began growing redder and bulgier along with the tears of humiliation. Xiaowan, stop it. What's going on here? Brother, it's my fault. I fell in love with a piece of jewelry and wanted to buy it, but she too. My sister was the one who saw it first. Even though you took it from her, why are you treating her like this? Haha, I asked her for it and she didn't give it to me. She only gave it to me because I used force. I'm not in a good mood anymore. I should punish her a little, shouldn't I? He turned his flaming eyes of rage to the lady in red. Despicable woman. If I don't beat you into a pulp today, then my name wouldn't be Dong, the king of the skies. Unfortunately, a gale stopped him as a white figure flashed in front of him. Bam! The noise echoed around as Dong Tianba was sent flying into the air. Dan, what happened? Bone refinement, 7th layer? With his strength, even within the 7 aristocratic families, he'd still be favored. Such a disciple was considered the cream of the crop among the 7 houses. It's nothing, there were just some foolish things that have ruined this lady's mood. Oh, they dare offend our Dudan Towers, Miss Xiao? Truly foolish. Hey. What? The Dudan Tower from the 15 Hua Yu Towers? Wana, you. Dong Tianba looked towards his terrified sister in a daze. That was why his sister was so set on bearing this humiliation. No one from the 7 noble houses could be offended, or one's entire clan would go extinct. Weren't you going to hit me? Why'd you stop? Dong Tianba's body shivered and started to regret his transgression. I was at fault for not noticing your grandeur and offending Miss in my rash action. Please pardon me. Forgive your crimes. What crimes have you committed? Didn't you say it just now, that it was I who stole your sister's toy and was hell-bent on humiliating her? For you to stand up for her is reasonable, but, do you really think you have the ability to? The punishment for biting off more than I can chew is that this servant should be beaten. He then slapped himself 6 times and his face swelled. The people around shook their heads. Stumbling upon any from the 7 houses was bound to bring humiliation to your entire clan. HMPH, what scum, no fun at all. Why are all the men here garbage? They've got no spirit at all. Brother Tian Yu, do you want to have some fun with them? Dan, what sort of tricks are you up to now? I see that this lad treats his sister quite well, so I have an idea. You're quite able in martial arts, and you're very understanding, so I've decided to let you off the hook this time. If you can strip all of those ladies' clothes off, whilst under the protection of a couple of bone-refining elites, then that lady is yours to play with, and our Hua Yu Towers will not look into your matters of bullying women. What? Dong Xiaowan shivered and Dong Tianba's eyes were bloodshot. This has passed the point of bullying. You're not even treating us as human beings anymore. Even if you're one of the 7 aristocratic families, this sort of behavior is unforgivable. Yet the youth in white waved her proposal off. Dan, you've mistook this, brother. Our Kwai Hua forest might have the words Kwai Hua in our name, but we aren't licentious people. Your request is very troubling for me to do, haha. Seeing your excited face, I'm still not judging you, so what's there to be wary of? In the end, in July of the next year, I'll still become one of your people, and you'll still marry into my Hua Yu Tower. This won't change anything. Hee. Since you've made this request, I can't go against it. But you'll have to remember that, this is just a game, you can't try and get me back for this in the future. Fine. Xiao Dandan rose the corner of her mouth. Hee. This humble servant is Lin Tianyu from the Kwai Hua forest, and the future son-in-law of the Hua Yu Towers. And you've heard it yourselves, this isn't due to my being a pervert and an oppressor of the people, the truth is that you've offended my future wife first. I'm only here to conduct the punishment. The youth in white walked towards Dong Xiaowan, who shivered at each of his steps. Sir Lin, just now, the Mrs. rules, I've heard them very clearly. But I've only got one question. Perhaps by some luck, we were able to block you once, what will you do? If you can block him even once, then we'll let bygones be bygones, and this miss, will let it go. Great. Then, sorry for the offense. Your expression is good, but... A figure flitted by and Lin Tianyu was already behind Dong Xiaowan. His hand even held the delicate clothes of the latter. Pitifully, you don't have the power, compete. This lad's cultivation may be in the 7th layer, but his strength is only equal to someone that's in bone refinement 6th layer. His cultivation has been mostly focused on his speed. But in this case, it's the classic mistake of putting the cart before the horse. Even if you're faster than light itself, without any strength, you won't be able to harm anyone. In the future, when his cultivation reaches another level, this difference will only be more apparent. This seemingly chic lad is actually a cultivation disaster. No wonder he's sent to the Hua Yu Tower by the Kwai Hua forest, even though he's only a bone refinement 7th layer. But, with only the king of the skies, Dong, and those 3 old men by her side, it isn't enough. Elders, surround the young miss. Yes, it's useless, with so few of you. You won't even be able to see me. Ah. Dong Xiaowan cried out once again. Her second article was removed, even under heavy guard. Ah, how fragrant. Lin Tianyu sniffed hard at the clothing in his hand. The second piece of clothing is already so intoxicating. I wonder what the young Mrs. underwear will be like. Dong Xiaowan let out a shiver and cried in fear. Brother, I will definitely protect you. Dong Tianba mustered his courage with a roar. Your big brother will definitely protect you. Stop wasting our time, go. Dong Xiaowan watched him in sorrow and closed her eyes, resigned to her fate. Dong Tianba powerless and helpless. Wana, I'm so sorry, Your big brother is unable to protect you. Then, sudden footsteps were heard and a figure overshadowed Dong Tianba. Brother Dong. This is the final attack. Mind if I join in? Who are you? Scratching his nose, Shuofan pointed at Dong Xiaowan. Hey, I'm her husband. What? Seeing the widespread shock, Shuofan rushed to explain. That's incorrect. She's my wife, isn't that the same thing? The crowd exclaimed. I went to her house to propose before, but I was rejected, so I'm her ex. Whatever, the addition of such a fool won't be a hindrance. Plus, seeing a love-struck fool watching his beloved being stripped by someone else, it'll be quite interesting. Haha. Since Dan doesn't mind at all, then I won't worry about it. Even if more people join in, the end result will always be the same. Brother, this matter, you shouldn't have joined in. Hee. Brother Dong, don't be so polite, we're brother-in-laws, so whenever you're in trouble I'll always come and help. I chose the right person. Brother is truly faithful and loyal. Dong Tianba was moved to tears. Shuofan then gazed at Dong Xiaowan with a smile of reassurance. Relax, I won't let him take another piece of your clothes. She thought Shuofan was using this chance to take advantage of her, but his clear eyes evoked unknown feelings in her heart. Shuofan now turned to Lin Tianyu and stuck out his hand. Come. Lin Tianyu's smile of mockery froze on his face. You brat, how obnoxious. Once I'm done with this young miss, I'll deal with you. Dong Tianba sensed his killing intent. He's only a buffoon, Brother Dong, you don't have to worry. Aware of the change in the atmosphere, Shuofan still sported a casual smile. Brother Tianyu, you've been laughed at by a fool. Xiao Dandan felt the atmosphere was lacking, so she added oil to the fire. Might as well deal with him after stripping that little miss. The words of a hothead, this brother won't take them to heart. This is the last piece, now let this sir admire this young miss. This is my chance. In your dreams. He didn't even get the chance to react when a fist smashed into his pretty face. He went tumbling through the air and smacked the pavement before he could get his bearing. What? Hussies, deserve to be beaten. You managed to hit him? There certainly was something that had hit my fist, but I actually wanted to send him flying. In a casual manner, Shuofan rubbed his presumably sore fist. Aya, my hand is in pain. That's great. How did you manage to do that, brother? When I didn't even see a glimpse of his shadow. Is it a requirement to see him? Doesn't he only have one target? When waiting for hares by the tree, isn't the hare the one that's dumb enough to crash into the tree? So that's why. Even if his speed is inhuman, in the end, he's only targeting Dong Xiaowan. So you just have to stare at her. Genius. Sir Song is truly a genius. No wonder our family's young master looks up to Sir. Sister, see, I told you that Brother Song is a man of intelligence and good morals, now you've seen it for yourself. If it weren't for him, you would have gotten in big trouble. Waving it off, Shuofan made eye contact with Dong Tianba. Brother Dong, whether this matter can be forgiven, isn't something you can decide for yourself. Dong Tianba walked before Xiao Dandan with a smile. My lady, we have by chance blocked Sir Ling's attack. I believe that the followers of the Hua Yu Towers are true to their words. So let's let bygones be bygones. This slave will be taking his sister back home. Halt. This lady shall not look into this matter any further, but, pitifully, it seems that Brother Tian Yu won't let you go as easily. Chumph, I have never taken such a heavy punch in this many years of living. But I won't use my authority just to bully people, it's just that this game has piqued my interest, and I'm very hesitant of stopping when the game was just getting good. So, why don't we carry on until I'm satisfied? What? I wonder, how do we really make this game end? Only when I am satisfied, will this game end. Isn't this just forcing us to lose? You really won't stop until you strip my family's almost non-existent honor off? You're just fucking bullies. Shuofan scratched his nose and tightened his fist. It seems that there's no reason for me to be courteous anymore. I originally didn't want this matter to be of any note, but these degenerates are just asking for it. I've given them a chance but they just didn't want it. This game looks to be quite fun, might as well count me in. In the past, me and Brother Dong had played a game quite similar to this, hadn't we, Brother Dong? But now, you're trying to strip my woman, yet I can't strip yours. This seems a little bit unfair, doesn't it? You only landed a hit on me by chance. Do you think you now have the ability to fight against me? Dream on. Sir Ling, are you unconfident, or are you just afraid of your wife? Chuckles resounded all around, Xiao Dandan's included. Despite being fearful of the 7 houses, everyone cursed them behind their backs. Recently, a Thatcher has risen up the ranks, and suddenly a bunch of foolish teens have the galls to fight against the honor of the 7 aristocratic families. Do you think you really have what it takes? Today, if you're able to take a piece of my clothing off in front of Brother Tianyu, I'll kick him out of the house and marry you. What? Xiao Dandan's challenge first came as a shock. Lady Dandan, don't promise things you aren't sure of. This game may be intense, but don't burst into tears while playing it. I won't shed even a single tear. Now, stop wasting my time, prepare yourselves, this sir is about to attack. Since we had talked about fairness, the people guarding here are a bit much, don't you think? To prevent you from blaming me for this in the future, just leave me alone as the only guard. Brother, my sister will be in your care. Miss Dong, do you trust me? Zhuo Fan stared at Dong Xiaowan. She jumped, but nodded in the end, realizing the repulsive lecher from before was replaced by a reliable young man. That's good, you'll be able to witness a marvelous show later on. But just then, a cackle came into their ears. Haha, this is the last piece, this sir will graciously accept. A crack resounded and Lin Tianyu didn't even get to touch Dong Xiaowan as he was sent tumbling in the air. Before hitting the pavement again, he was filled with shock. You actually saw me? As he turned around, Zhuo Fan's eyes were cold. With a crack of thunder, Zhuo Fan appeared behind Xiao Dandan. His hand flashed and her dress was torn apart. Hee. When comparing our speed, you're still far from my level. How could this be? He had just broke through to the bone refinement realm, yet his speed is faster than Ling Tianyu, who solely trained his speed. That lad actually had such an attack. It even surpassed a disciple of one of the 7 aristocratic families. And he is only from a small and unknown family. No wonder Miss Dandan is a follower of the Huayu Towers. You're truly different from those typical women that only know how to apply makeup. You're sent. This sir will never forget it. You bastard. You dare molest my wife right in front of my eyes. You're really looking down on my Kuaihua forest. Merry Woods was known as the Wind House, known for having the fastest speed in the empire. Taking a side glance at Lin Tianyu, Zhuo Fan grinned inside and flashed before Xiao Dandan. You brat, what are you doing? Zhuo Fan watched the red-faced Xiao Dandan and raised an eyebrow in challenge. Miss Dandan, I'm very different from that spineless husband of yours. I'm very forceful when it comes to women. Just now, my attack was a bit rougher than usual. You can hit and scold me, but I'll never change. This feeling was so new to her that she didn't know where to place it. You brat, let go of her, or else I won't be so polite. He pulled her closer instead, eliciting a charming cry from Xiao Dandan. It made any male on the scene feel their pulse quickened, swallowing dryly, and sporting wide and nasty grins. Meanwhile, the women around blushed. Lin Tianyu's face was ashen, wishing to tear Zhuo Fan limb by limb. Brother Ling, what are you trying to do? Aren't you the one that suggested for us to play this game? Since ancient times, the winner will obtain everything while the loser will have nothing left. If Brother Ling had won, then the 2 women would have been yours. But now, Miss Dandan, this slave has won. May the miss kick that useless man from the family, and let this slave become someone close to you. His tone was soft, yet his words traveled far, particularly stabbing into Lin Tianyu's ears. Xiao Dandan's blushing and faint nod. Lin Tianyu trembled, his lips leaked a trail of blood. You brat, you're getting full of yourself. Haha. So what if I am? The one that was insulting others is now being insulted himself. Talk to me when you actually have the ability to beat me. You piece of shit. Watch me. This sir will now strip that little miss clothes. Then deal with you later. Lin Tianyu appeared before Dong Xiaowan. A slap cuffed him over the ear into the ground. When he looked up, Zhuo Fan was back next to Xiao Dandan, continuing to mock. Miss Dandan, that useless husband of yours lost another round again. I'll have to take another piece of your clothes. Miss Dandan, forgive me for being rough. Her charming eyes rolled and her face turned rosy, playing coy. Dear, can't you be a little gentler? I was always this rough. I don't think I can change this part of me in this lifetime. You pair of adulterers. Zhuo Fan made sure to even slap him 5 times for good measure. With but one flimsy and thin piece left on Miss Xiao Dandan, Zhuo Fan's grin turned maniacal. Brother Ling, this is your last chance. If you fail again, Miss Dandan will become my woman. You asshole, you dare insult someone from one of the 7 aristocratic families. Lin Tianyu's words only worked to goad Zhuo Fan further, who, under Lin Tianyu's rage-filled eyes, landed a kiss on Xiao Dandan's cheek. I'm about to become the Huayu Tower's son-in-law. Why would I be scared of your puny Kuaihua forest? Am I not correct, Miss Dandan? Xiao Dandan was so far gone, accepting anything he was throwing at her, that she nodded without remorse. Die, you pair of dogs. I'll personally send you two to heaven. He made a hand sign and a green gale gathered around his legs. The sharp whistling spoke of its deadly power as he kicked at them. Mid-spirit ranked martial art, razor kick. Ling Tianyu, you scoundrel. You dare try and kill me in my Hua Yu Tower's territory? You slut. If I don't kill you two today, then my dignity as a man is for naught. Brother Ling, is this your last attack? Zhuo Fan's arm snaked around Xiao Dandan's waist while his other acted as a shield. The green gale lashed at Zhuo Fan's arm, but the sounds coming out of it was that of screeching metal. The kick didn't even scratch his arm. It was so weak.